welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be making a layered coleslaw. I love cabbage, any way you fix it. So today we're going to be making a layered coleslaw. First we're going to have cabbage, of course, in it. We're going to have peas, we're going to have cauliflower, onions, carrots. No, we're not going to have carrots. We're going to have cheese, bacon, and cucumbers in it. So we'll get started. I'm going to put a little bit of cabbage in the bottom of my bowl. I've already shredded the cabbage. That makes a nice big mess when you do that. Now my dressing that I use on here, I will go through that with you at a later time here. Put a little bit of cabbage in. I'm going to put my cauliflower on top of my cabbage, and I cut the little flowers, heads of the cauliflower out there. Get that in. And then sometimes the dressing doesn't get to the bottom real good very fast, so I'm going to add just a little bit of my dressing in now so that it all gets to the bottom. My dressing that I make, you can use different kinds. I go back to my family with the mayonnaise, sugar, and vinegar dressing that I usually use 90% of the time. Okay, then after we put that in, I want to get some color in it, so I'm going to add some peas. Now you're supposed to use the frozen peas, which is great, unless you have fresh ones in the garden. Now if you have fresh ones, just cut them up, don't even shell them. Use the whole thing. Get all of these in there. And if you do use the frozen ones, lay them on a towel, let them thaw, and then once they get thawed out, kind of blot them a little bit. Get every one of those in there, blot them up a little bit so that you get all the water out of them, because you don't want any of that water in your salad. So we'll blot those. And then after we get that in, we'll do our onions. That's what I was doing with my onions. I had went out to the garden, very small garden, because I'm in town, and I pulled up some of my onions. So I'm going to cut them and put them in there. Now I like all of it. That might be a little too much for that, so I'm going to stop here. I'm not going to waste that. I'm going to lay that back and use that for something else, because don't want to waste it. Mix that up a little bit. Then you put your onions on there. Well, you know what? When I get it on there, it doesn't look like it's too much, so I'm just going to use it all. Like I said, I like green onions. And can't get any fresher than these, because I just went out and pulled these about half hour ago. So now we've got our onions in there. And then we're going to, I think I'll add just a little bit more broccoli. Not much, but a little. Then we need some more cabbage. Supposed to have a small head, and I didn't have a small one, and when I'm cutting up cabbage, I'm going to cut the whole thing because I make such a mess. I don't know how you are with cabbage, but I have it everywhere when I'm cutting it. And I mean everywhere. So I just cut it all up at one time. That way I've got one mess and I'm done with it. There. Okay. Now I think we're ready to do the cucumbers. Or the celery. I guess I put the celery back in the refrigerator. Leave it to me. I like a little celery in mine. This is one of those recipes that you take your recipe and you make it your own. It had what they called it for you to put in it, but you know what? I made it my own and put in other things also. So I am going to cut up some of my celery. Now, a lot of people take the top off the celery and throw it away. I don't. That's very sweet and it's very good. So I'm going to be using it in mine. We're just going to slice this real thin and put it in there. Is enough. I guess I should have put the celery in before I put all that cabbage on there, but that's okay. I always do everything backwards. It's okay, we're going to eat it no matter how I do it, aren't we? Anyway, we'll mix that up in there a little bit. Then I wanted to show you what I do with the other cabbage. I have some more cabbage back here, and I like to take my cabbage. On the inside, you've got that pretty little. Now I'll take that and I'll do it real fine so I can get that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get rid of a couple of these big ones so I don't have those on there because I really don't want to use those right now. So I'm gonna break those off, get rid of them. And you just get the middle out. Because that's really all that I want, is that. Have a nice big salad for dinner tonight. I love salads. It's warm outside and salads are so good. There's so many different recipes that they use now to use the slaw with, and this is just one of them. Okay, I'm going to slide that over there. And I will use that in just a minute. Okay, I'm going to be very careful. I'm going to lay that over there. I'll probably eat that with salt on it. But cucumbers are good. I remember once my pastor was going past the house and he stopped and he said, I don't know what's wrong with it. They always had a nice big garden. He said, I don't know what's wrong with our cucumbers, but we can't get that white stuff out of them, no matter how much we try. He said, I thought we bought the burpless ones. He says, but evidently we didn't. And I said, well, did you try to burp them? He says, how do you burp a cucumber? And I laughed, and I says, come in the house. So he came in, and I said, just cut the end of it off and kind of rub it back and forth, and that'll burp it. Now I'm going to stir those up down in there a little bit because I don't want them all on top. There. Okay. And he said, I've never heard of that. So I was taking the cucumber. I don't know, maybe somebody out there don't know what I'm talking about too. Let me get my hands washed off here since I made such a mess. I always have to get my hands in to stir. Hands are the best tools you got. But I told him, I said, all you have to do is cut the end off of it like so, and if they're not burpless, go like that, and white will come around it and cut that off, and you got it all out. He could not believe that, but anyway, it worked out. He was so happy about that. Then let's lay our bacon on there like so. Get that all on there. I'll tell you what, I thought I could do this without making a mess. I don't know why I thought that, because I can't do anything without making a mess. But that's why they call me Messy Bessie. Okay, and then we're going to do our dressing. Okay, I've got this all done like this now. Then we're going to put just a little more cabbage on that, I think. That cabbage was fresh, and boy, it smells so good. I'll lay just a little bit more on there. There you go. That way I've got it on my hands again. Okay, now did that, and I'm going to put the cheese on it. And you don't have to use cheese, but we like cheese, so I guess I'm going to use cheese. But I'm just going to use a little bit. Now, before you serve this, you can add tomatoes to it if you would like to. But this is what I was cutting all of this up for, because I like to, after I get it all made up, get my dressing. I'm going to make up some more dressing, I think, because this is not going to be enough. I'm going to put it on there though, and then I'll make up some more. Just pour that on there. I put the other on the bottom of it as I did it, but this is not going to be enough. But that's okay. We will make a little bit more. Now my dressing that I use, I'm sure everybody's got the recipe by now, because I think I use it in 2 or 3 other salads that I make. It's really a good one, and don't fix it if it's not broken. And this is one it's a go-to dressing because we use it all the time. And I say that's about 3/4 of a cup, maybe, of mayonnaise. And I use about maybe a 1/2 cup of sugar, or you can substitute and use Splenda if you don't want to use regular sugar. Then a couple tablespoons, maybe 1 tablespoon for that, of vinegar. I use this on my potato salad. Just add mustard to it then. And like I said, I use this a lot, this dressing. My great-grandmother's recipe, and I'm sure a lot of you folks out there, it's your grandma's recipe too. I'm making noise here, clump, clump, clump. Gonna get my this and use that and won't make so much noise. There. That's a little better. Okay. Yep. That's good. Very good. Okay, we're just going to pour that on there, and that's going to drip down through there. And after it sets in the fridge for a couple hours, 2 or 3 hours, then we'll stir it all up, and we'll have a yummy, yummy salad. Yeah, we sure will. It has to be good if it's got bacon in it. Anything you put bacon in is good. My husband said when I was frying the bacon, he says, "You gonna have enough bacon there for breakfast?" And I said, "I don't know." We did. He knew we would. I don't know if he knew we would, but he hoped we would. Clean up some of my mess here. Okay. Now I take the inside of that. It's really sweet, your celery, and I just garnish the top of my salad with it. I think it makes it pretty. Makes it springy looking at least. But that's what I use that for. And I just don't throw it away. I use it for that, and then I cut it in bigger pieces and put it right in whatever I'm cooking. I put it in my soup. I put it in my salads. Now, like I said, before we serve this tonight, we'll probably dice up some tomatoes maybe and put on top of it. That would make it nice. Put them on it, or just put them on our dish that we have it in. Clean the bowl up a little bit. But anyway, there's our layered potatoes. Potato. Okay, I'll make potato salad next time. Here's our layered coleslaw. It's beautiful. It's beautiful down through the bottom. See how the peas and everything shows through? I just think that's really pretty. So why don't y'all try it, and we'll get the recipe posted down below, and let me know how you like it. Appreciate you joining me in my kitchen today, and look forward to seeing you again real soon. Have a great day. Thank you bunches.